Before we begin, if stories about loyalty, betrayal, and quiet justice speak to you, take a second and subscribe. It helps more than you think. All right, let me tell you how everything fell apart. And my name is Wade Patterson. For 20 years, I walked through the revolving doors of Apex Defense Technologies like I belonged there. Not because I owned the place. I never confused myself with the logo on the building. I belonged because I earned it. Every late night, every emergency call, every system failure that had to be fixed before sunrise. That morning, the security badge hit my desk like a funeral bell. You're done here, Patterson. Clear out. No warning. No conversation. His first day as CEO. My last day as anything. The marble lobby echoed with silence. The kind that only happens when 100 people see something wrong and choose not to see it. As I walked away, my boots clicking against polished stone, he didn't know what I knew. Didn't understand what he had just cut loose. Buried deep inside a Pentagon contract were authorization codes. My authorization codes. Codes that made my digital signature the final lock on a $200 million defense deal. Remove that foundation, and the whole tower comes down. The nameplate outside my office read Senior Systems Engineer. What it didn't say was that I had saved Apex from federal audits. Twice. It didn't mention the Pentagon contracts worth billions. Or the artificial intelligence radar systems I designed. The same ones keeping American pilots alive overseas. That Tuesday started like every other. I walked in carrying black coffee and a small velvet box. Inside was a Marine Corps Challenge coin from my old unit. Vintage brass. Classy. Respectful. Exactly right for a new CEO's first day. I had even written a note. To new leadership and continued service. The lobby buzzed with nervous energy. Engineers whispered near the security desk. Wonder what he's like. Heard he cleaned house at his last company. Hope our clearances are safe. I nodded at them. Same calm look I'd used for 2 decades. Everything would be fine. Change was normal in defense contracting. We adapted. We always did. Morning, Wade. Charlie from procurement clutched his coffee like a lifeline. You meeting him today? 10:30 in the morning, I said. Right after the all hands. If I had known those were the last words I'd speak as an Apex employee, I might have chosen better ones. The elevator ride to the 30th floor felt longer than usual. Each familiar chime sounded like a countdown to something I couldn't name yet. When the doors opened, I knew. The flags were gone. The military photos disappeared. Everything was white and chrome now. Cold. Sterile. Like a tech startup pretending it understood war. Brennan Hayes stood at the center of it all. Tall. Perfect suit. Eyes that measured people like assets. He was surrounded by his own people. Faces I didn't recognize. Moving with corporate precision. The old guard was gone. I stepped forward, gift in hand. Mr. Hayes, Wade Patterson, Senior Systems Engineer. Welcome to Apex Defense. He looked at my hand like it was contaminated. Then he met my eyes, and before he spoke, I knew. Patterson. He said my name the way you read it off a termination list. Perfect timing. The entire floor went silent. I've been reviewing the organizational structure, he said, identifying redundancies.
Legacy personnel.
Outdated thinking. I didn't blink. I'd be happy to brief you on current Pentagon initiatives, I said. We have critical systems running. That won't be necessary. He cut me off without hesitation. Your services are no longer required. Security will escort you out. The words landed heavy. Someone gasped. Nancy from Systems Integration. Started the same year I did. The challenge coin felt stupid in my hand now. Like bringing flowers to your own court-martial. May I ask why? I said. You may not. He had already turned away. New era, he said. We don't need relics. Relics point 20 years of missed birthdays. Cancelled fishing trips. 12-hour days. reduced to a word. Tony and Mike from security approached. Guys I'd shared coffee with for years. They wouldn't meet my eyes. "Sir, we need to escort you." "That won't be necessary," I said calmly. "I keep personal items at home." Not true. But I wouldn't give him the walk of shame. I looked down at the challenge coin. Semper Fi. The irony almost hurt. I dropped it into the trash. The sound it made hitting bottom, that was my goodbye. The elevator ride down felt endless. 30 floors of my life disappearing one by one. "This ain't right," Tony whispered. "It's business," I said. We both knew that was a lie. Outside, the morning sun felt harsh. 20 years, gone in 20 minutes. I drove home on autopilot. And when I walked into the house, it felt bigger. Emptier. Jake's college acceptance letter sat on the counter. That's when my phone rang. Nancy. Then Charlie. Then a voice that changed everything. "Mr. Patterson, this is Agent Lisa Morgan, FBI Counterintelligence. We need to talk." That diner smelled like burnt coffee and old grease. The kind of place where people talk quietly, because they assume someone is always listening. Agent Lisa Morgan slid into the booth across from me like she owned the room. Not aggressive. Not friendly either. Focused. "Thanks for coming, Mr. Patterson." "Wade," I said. "After today, formal titles feel unnecessary." She studied my face for a second, probably checking for shock or fear. "What do you know about Continental Security Group?" she asked. I didn't answer right away. I opened the folder she pushed toward me. Photos, financial records, email chains. My stomach tightened. "Chinese-backed consulting firm," I said slowly. "Suspected industrial espionage. We flagged them 3 years ago." Her eyes stayed locked on mine. "Not suspected anymore," she said. "Confirmed." She flipped another photo onto the table. Brennan Hayes, smiling, shaking hands with a man I recognized from classified briefings. My jaw clenched. "He needs my authorization codes," I said. "Exactly," Morgan replied. "And right now, you're the only thing standing between classified radar technology and Beijing." That sentence landed heavy. Not dramatic, just factual. "What do you need from me?" I asked. "Right now," she said. "Stay alive. Stay reachable." She leaned in slightly. "And don't trust anyone who suddenly wants to help you." I drove home slower that night. Every car behind me felt closer than it should. Every red light lasted too long. Paranoia or instinct? Hard to tell when you've spent your life around classified work. The phone started ringing the moment I walked inside. Nancy, crying. "They're saying you violated security protocols, Wade." "Did you believe it?" I asked. "No," she said immediately. "No one does." Then Charlie. "They froze your pension," he said. "Legal sent letters to everyone who talked to you." That was the first punch. The second came the next morning, a number I didn't recognize. "Mr. Patterson," a smooth voice said, "we represent interested parties who admire your expertise." They offered $500,000. Consulting role. No obligations. Just cooperation. I laughed. Then I hung up. The threats came after that. Letters, lawyers, whispers. They questioned my clearance, suggested investigations, tried to make me feel small. Then my phone rang again. "Dad," Jake's voice shook. "Some guys in suits came to campus. They asked about you. They had pictures of me leaving class." My hands curled into fists. "Are you safe right now?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "But I'm scared." That was it. You don't threaten a Marine's family. Ever. I started making calls. Not emails. Not texts. Calls. Men I hadn't spoken to in years. Voices that didn't ask questions. They just listened. Tommy Rodriguez. Homeland Security now. "Wade," he said. "We've been watching Continental Security for months. If Hayes is involved, we want blood in the water. Lisa Morgan, another one, NSA now. I can dig into Hayes's hires, she said. See who he brought with him. The Brotherhood activated fast, like muscle memory. Hayes thought he fired one engineer. He had no idea what he woke up. The call came at midnight. Unknown number. Mr. Patterson? Her voice was low, careful. This is Sarah Holstrom. I sat up straight. Founder's granddaughter. Board access. Smart as hell. I think my grandfather would want you to know, she whispered. Hayes is lying to the board. She explained everything. Joint venture, fake language, real contracts. They're planning to transfer the radar technology, she said. Next Friday. When? I asked. Emergency board meeting. Approval vote. Can you record it? I asked. Yes. Then I'll be there. There was a pause. He's been asking about your access codes, she added. He's getting desperate. So was I. That week felt like standing on a fault line. Phones buzzed constantly. Cars slowed near my house. 2 federal agents parked down the street, pretending to read newspapers. Jake came home early. I sent him to friends out of state. Family first. Always. Thursday night we met at a VFW hall. Old place. Flags on the walls. History in the air. Evidence spread across the table. Emails. Transfers. Recordings. This is treason, Tommy said quietly. And we stop it tomorrow? I replied. Friday morning arrived gray and cold. I put on my best suit. Marine Corps lapel pin. Sarah had recovered the challenge coin from the trash. She handed it back to me. Some things shouldn't be thrown away, she said. She was right. Friday morning felt heavier than it should have. The sky was gray. Not dramatic. Just pressed down. I dropped Jake off with friends the night before. Didn't explain much. A Marine learns early that fear spreads fast. Better to carry it alone. I stood in front of the mirror longer than usual. Suit pressed. Tie straight. Marine Corps lapel pin in place. Sarah had returned the challenge coin to me before sunrise. Pulled it from the trash where I'd dropped it days earlier. Some things deserve respect, she'd said. She was right. If I was walking back into Apex defense, I was walking in as myself. Not broken. Not bitter. Ready. Sarah met me in the parking garage. Board meeting starts at 10 in the morning, she said. Hayes has been making calls since dawn. Good, I replied. Means he's nervous. She handed me a visitor badge. Full access. Grandfather insisted, she added. He never believed the security violation story. The elevator ride up felt different this time. Not dread. Focus. The kind you feel before things go loud. The executive floor still looked wrong. Too white. Too clean. Like a hospital pretending to be a command center. Thomas Holstrom stood outside the boardroom. 75 years old. Still sharp. He gripped my hand. I should have called you sooner, he said quietly. You're calling now, I replied. That's what matters. The doors behind him opened. Brennan Hayes froze when he saw me. What is he doing here? Thomas didn't raise his voice. Mr. Patterson is here as a technical consultant. That's inappropriate, Hayes snapped. He was terminated. Sarah stepped forward, calm. The board reinstated his clearance pending review. She placed documents on the table. My grandfather still controls the company. Hayes's eyes flicked toward the emergency exit. Then back to us, cornered. The boardroom felt like a courtroom. 12 board members. Old defense industry veterans. Men and women who understood what betrayal really cost. Hayes sat at the head of the table, sweat visible despite the air conditioning. Let's begin, Thomas said. He turned to me. Wade. I stood. 20 years of silence pressed into that moment. What I'm about to show you, I said, represents the most serious threat to national security this company has ever faced. I opened my laptop. The first slide appeared. Bank transfers, shell companies, payments from Continental Security. Gasps. Patricia Walsh leaned forward. Brennan, please tell me this isn't real. Hayes laughed too quickly. This is character assassination, he said. Patterson was fired for cause. His voice cracked. I clicked to the next slide. Phone records, intercepted emails, then audio. His voice filled the room. The old fool won't cooperate, but we can work around him. Silence hit hard. General Morrison stood. That's enough. He pointed at Hayes. You're talking about selling out American pilots. Hayes stood too. You don't understand global markets, he said. We need international partners. With Chinese military intelligence? Thomas asked. His voice was ice. My father built this company to protect America. Sarah activated the recording app on her phone. Every word captured. Through the glass walls, I saw Agent Morgan's team waiting. Hayes made his last move. You can't stop the transfer, he said. I already initiated it. I shook my head. No, I said. You didn't. I pulled out my phone. Put it on speaker. Colonel Martinez, I said. Pentagon Procurement Office. A pause. Any technology transfer without my written consent voids the contract. Correct. Confirmed? The colonel replied. Hayes went pale, voices erupted. Legal threats. Demands. Then the doors opened. Brennan Hayes, Agent Morgan said. You're under arrest. Handcuffs clicked. Finaled as they let him out. He looked back at me. This isn't over. Maybe not, I replied. But it ends with you. They took Brennan Hayes out in silence. No speeches. No last stand. Just the sound of cuffs. And the weight of consequences finally arriving. The boardroom stayed quiet after he was gone. Not shock. Understanding. Thomas Holstrom didn't speak right away. He looked around the table at people he'd trusted for decades. This company, he said slowly, was built to serve this country. He turned to me. And we almost lost it. Patricia Walsh cleared her throat. The Pentagon will want answers, she said. They'll get them. Agent Morgan replied from the doorway. We already have warrants moving. That was when the tension began to drain. Not relief. Resolution. The investigation moved fast. Faster than I expected. Once the first arrest happened, the rest unraveled like bad stitching. Continental Security Group was shut down by executive order. Assets frozen. Executives detained. The parent company was sanctioned. Congressional hearings followed. Long ones, painful ones. Names were read into records. Companies exposed. Apex Defense survived because the truth came out in time. 6 months later, I sat in a different chair. Same building. Same floor. Different responsibility. The nameplate on my desk read, Chief Technology Officer Apex Defense Technology. Simple. Clean. Earned. The city looked the same through the glass. But I didn't. Jake finished his sophomore year at MIT without worry. Tuition covered. Future intact. He came home more often now. We talked more. Listened better. That mattered. Sarah Holstrom was everywhere. Board meetings. Security reviews. Strategic planning. She had her grandfather's values and her own strength. Thomas named her successor officially. I supported it without hesitation. Some leaders inherit power. Others earn trust. She did both. The radar technology Hayes tried to steal was deployed overseas. 3 combat theaters. NO headlines. Just pilots coming home alive. That was enough. My days changed. 12-hour shifts became optional. Fishing trips returned to the calendar. Mornings felt lighter. And every day when I walked through the revolving doors, I remembered the sound of my badge hitting that desk. The moment everything broke. And quietly, the moment everything began. The challenge coin sits on my desk now. Polished. Heavy. Semper Fi engraved in brass that's seen better days. Like me, like the core, like the belief that some things matter more than money. Brennan Hayes thought he was clearing out dead weight. Instead, he cleared the path. For accountability, for leadership, for the truth. The relic didn't just survive, he prevailed. And America is safer for it.